You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. Don't think we have any new callers, so why don't we just go ahead and get started? I think, we will continue on with the newer calls, and we'll see what we can do about any of the skipped calls if we ever get back to them, but I'm thinking we probably won't. Uncle Rico.
Yo, Brian, it's your Uncle Rico.
What's up, dude?
Am I an idiot? I mean, obviously, but am I that big of an idiot? Am I the only guy who didn't know that Big Sal was not real? I thought Big Sal lived in Peshtigo. What the else is going on here? I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should be upset or impressed.
I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Big Sal's cool. I mean, George Jetson's not real, and he's friggin' cool. So whatever. Go Big Sal or Ryan, whoever Big Sal is, or who's that guy? That's the comedian. Timmy, Tony, Terry, Tommy, Tilly, Beer Cheese Benny,
Something's
or
happening.
maybe whatever. But
Still there.
Dakota, that nerd, he knew. How did he know? Did somebody talk? Did we talk about this? Smarter than me. What's up? Go Big Sal. Rico out.
Yeah, I mean, James Bond isn't real. Han Solo isn't real. Freaking Terminator. He's not real. I still think they're pretty cool.
It's Rico again. Sorry, it's late and I'm tired anyways, I forgot. I completely forgot. So the first time I hear Big Sal, right? The very first episode, and I think I called in and asked you, Ryan, questions about Big Sal, about if he was part of the team now or whatnot. Anyway, so Big Sal is talking about this guy that works at the paper mill and whatnot, and making his comparisons that are funny, and I can't remember Red Oak Road or whatever. This guy lives out on Red Oak Road and he works at the paper mill, right? So a friend of mine who used to live in Peshtigo, I call him and I'm asking him, you know a guy from Peshtigo named Big Sal? Or do you know this other guy that plows all the driveways and lives out on Red Oak Road or
That's
wherever
hilarious.
Do you know this guy? So, Ryan, you're a real jackass. You're a jackass. I forgot all about that I was a tard. So I got my friend, who formerly from Peshtigo, looking into these guys, Big Sal and the snowplow guy who doesn't plow the driveways only the first time, that guy. Oh, Lordy, you guys really got me. I'm a special sort of guy. All right, son. Rico out.
Well, there is a paper mill in Peshtigo, so, that's a thing that's real. Beer Cheese, what do you got going on?
Hey, Ryan and Packernet. It is Beer Cheese Benny here.
What's up, dude?
Here to make an announcement to let you know, not really an announcement, really just some advice.
Okay.
So the Packers are not going to get Jalen Carter, and you know this is true because I'm saying it, and because they just won't, man. Somebody will outbid him and be willing to pay him more. So just get it out of your freaking head. We're not getting anybody of significance, okay, in free agency. It just doesn't happen this time, okay? I'm not going to do it. Duty's an idiot. and he's not going to freaking be able to get this done for us. So whatever. But I will say he is pretty smart for getting us, off of that Rashaan Gary contract and Elton Jenkins and getting away from a Quay Walker extension and whatever. But he's not good enough to get us free agents. So yeah, man, totally, we're not getting Jalen Carter or anybody that's going to help the team be epic. Goodbye. Have a good one. Enjoy Packers staying the same.
So I don't know this, but I'm going to assume something here, and I appreciate you doing that, Beer Cheese. For those that are new here, there is a reputation that Beer Cheese carries, and that is whenever he calls in and says something, about 5 minutes later, the exact opposite thing happens. So you go ahead and start your little stopwatch there. Any minute now, we're going to have some news.
Hey, Daniel from California. After kind of stewing on the last, 48 hours at this point, I like the vision. We're loading up for the 2027 draft. The reason why is they're going to be peaking on their salary cap after that, and they're going to have to do a bunch of money moving, so trying to get a heavy draft class so they can backfill and preemptively fill up spots, because I doubt 28, 29, 20, even 27, you might not have certain guys like maybe Josh Jacobs in 27, 28, who knows, right? But it gives them the opportunity with all the trades and stuff and all the future comp picks that they're going to have. Out of everything, I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but I love the Zaire Franklin. I don't really care about the level and quality of player that he is. Just the quality of leadership is the thing that I am seeing that just gets me excited. I'm watching the top 100 from 2024 and just watching this guy talk and have everybody everybody's juiced. And yeah, when who was their quarterback? Daniel Jones got hurt. Everybody said he kind of soured. They soured on him a little bit because he kept going even though they were on a 7-game losing streak and he's just getting in people's faces. Good.
Right.
Good. That's how you're supposed to respond when you're on a losing streak.
Exactly.
And it's funny because they were saying, yeah, everybody's quiet on our defense except for that number 44. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. And he'll fit in with us because we know everybody on our defense talks, right? And I don't mind it, but I just he not only does he talk the talk, but he's somebody that walks the walk. I saw an interview with some random group of guys, and he's just he's getting mad because somebody's saying he's not the good. Oh yeah, well I've been a captain. Every team I've ever been on, I've been a captain for special teams or for my linebacker play. And you've never been an All-Pro, but I was voted All-Pro by the people that watch football. So what do you have to say to that? I'm like, all right, I like this guy. He's got personality. He's got leadership. He's got special teams. I really, everything about this guy, I love to see what he's going to contribute. It just rounds out the room. I'm sorry Gary's gone. Sorry Elton Jenkins gone. It's not that big to me. It's just it was writing on the wall. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, the only video I think I watched of him, he was on a podcast and somebody got his last name wrong, and it was just about 5 straight minutes of him shutting the podcast down, not willing to move forward because this guy disrespected him and he told him not to disrespect him. And it was like he was getting ready to fight the guy. He definitely has a very intense demeanor. Yeah, this has been a very weird offseason in that usually you just want all the best players, all the best deals. I'm kind of happy with the way this is going. It's Zaire Franklin is usually the guy I look at and go, well, that was a waste of freaking time and energy and money. And, we haven't done anything and we're losing more people than we're bringing in. And it's just not exactly how I feel about it. I'm good with the direction we're going. We got to see, again, how this all finishes out. in the draft and everything else, but I'm kind of okay with this. It's a very weird situation, and I think all the comp pick stuff is what's unusual, seeing so many of our guys leaving and getting big contracts and how that's going to impact us in the future and how we're kind of winning from that in a weird kind of a way.
Ryan, what's up, man? Kyle from Madison. How are you?
Good.
All right. I know that you have to listen to, well, I mean, probably myself included sometimes, but, you know, sometimes some pretty dumb football takes in retrospect. But more specifically, what you know, the battlefield on Twitter or whatever it's called now. But I just came across something, and it's too stupid. I need like group therapy for how stupid this is, right? So I'm just reading about, you know, the Packers trading Gary and they get a 4th round pick. And I'm like ecstatic because I thought they were going to just freaking cut him. I'm thinking maybe I didn't think they're going to get anything for him. So to see them get a 4th, I'm blown away by that. And of course, the fact that they're Cowboys, I'm just smiling. And then I read, dude, we'll just call him dude. Great to see that the Packers were able to get a 4th for Gary from Dallas. That partially counters the fleecing the Cowboys gave the Packers in the Parsons trade. Note to Green Bay front office, no more trades, please. After the Parsons disaster, it is best to just cut losses. The fact that is somebody's actual football take, I don't have any words, man.
I mean, just the fact that they're now going out and desperately trying to find edge rushers should probably trigger something in their mind that maybe they did something wrong. The fact that they were almost giving up those exact same 1st round picks to go get Max Crosby, which is a downgrade. You know, the fact that they traded for a defensive tackle, realized he wasn't good enough, and immediately went out and got another defensive tackle, and now we're going out and getting another edge rusher, almost giving up those same picks, essentially downgrading just across the board. That's a rough take.
And I just needed to therapize myself with you about just how stupid that is. I just can't keep it in, you know? So thanks for letting me do that. Have a good one.
I'm trying to think, like, what is the best argument for that being a fleecing? And I know there were some Dallas fans who were, oh, he's a problem in the locker room or something. Wasn't for us, hasn't been. I don't know what that's all about. The best thing that I could think you could argue is that it wasn't worth the value because he got hurt, which only really holds water, number one, if you can see the future, and number two, if you assume he doesn't come back from injury and continue playing well. I don't, I'm not going to lie and say I've never really seen that take, but I don't super take them seriously. I see them as kind of trolling. But yeah, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out if I were looking at that trade, Dallas came out ahead. I mean, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with their 1st round picks. That's for sure. The one thing they could do, although I just did the draft show before doing this one, and the thing that's so funny, you could argue that they could try to trade up and get one of these pass rushers if you can find a partner to trade back, which maybe there's options. I know nobody thinks that there is, but you know, who knows? To get the supposed Micah Parsons, there's like 2-3 different guys that everyone's, apparently this is Micah Parsons now. Go get one of those guys. Don't worry about that. And then, then everything's fine and everything's working the way it's supposed to. The problem is you're spending like $24 million on Rashaan Gary, who you just gave up a 4th round pick for. So you just did all that, and now you're going to give up your picks to go up and get a guy that's a lesser version of Micah Parsons when you have all these other needs? No, you're not going to do that. So there's really just no argument in favor of what this idiot is talking. I mean, if you can think of something, let me know. Maybe I'm missing something, but I have no earthly idea other than being a whiny frickin' Cowboys fan who hates the Packers, hates them even more now that we stole their best player and they just have no hope for frickin' life anymore. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Brian, Bear Cheese Benny.
Shut up.
Benjamin St. Just. I think that's how you say it, or Justy. I don't know. We got him. I think it's a pretty good
I think it's Juice, strangely.
contract, too. Pretty cheap. And the guy I was looking at earlier, he ranks like 14th out of 114 corners or whatever it is, dude. Like, and he grades out better than all of our other corners, man. But now I'm wondering if Green Bay's really gonna, with their first pick that they had in the draft, if they're really gonna draft a corner now. Because they released Hobbs, so maybe that Benjamin dude replaces him. But I wonder if they're gonna. Man, I just don't know what they're gonna do here. But dude, we've cleared up so much cap space, man. I'd love to get Jalen Carter, but I don't think they can get him, man. No, you know they can get him. I think he's a kind of guy with just his character that the Packers aren't going to sign him. Like, they're just not going to be willing to do it, man. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't play with that kind of stuff. But, you know, I think the Packers are doing great things. It's going to suck because I think Romeo Dobbs is going to be gone, but I think this opens up a lot for our offense with Golden. The rest of the receivers, I think it'll be fine. As long as Kraft comes back and he's at least half of what he was, you know, we'll be fine. We'll definitely need to draft another tight end because I just don't think we've got anything with Musgrave or these other guys. But, dude, the news is just rolling in lately these last few days. It's been freaking insane. But, yeah, I think the Packers are setting themselves up very good for these next couple of years.
Yeah, I wouldn't read too much into the St. Juice thing. It's funny, I was just scrolling through here. I forgot the Commanders and Packers fans have like an alliance against the Eagles and Bears fans. They got this big Commanders account saying, say hello to your new CB1, and then showed us a cut-up he made last year when they went out and got him. But, you know, when you look at his PFF grades, and I already looked at it, or, you know, I talked about it a little bit, I think yesterday or whatever. It's a little deceiving because he didn't really play a full year, and it was his only year really playing that well. So you got to kind of be careful when you look into that, and you know, don't just assume that that's just what he is and always will be. He wasn't super fantastic prior to that, but either way, I think especially when you look at his age, the possibility we're still looking corner is very much there. I think that this is kind of it's a replacement for Hobbs that is cheaper and probably a better schematic fit for our new defensive coordinator. But otherwise, I don't know that it really changes our perception of things. I think it just puts us in a better position. If we don't find any corners, this will be our Hobbs, I guess, our Gannon Hobbs, as opposed to and that's not to say how good or bad. I don't know how good or bad this might end up panning out being, but you know, as far as Jalen Carter, I mean, obviously I'm skeptical that we would end up getting him just because it's such a big deal. The odds that he's even going to get traded, I don't know, maybe it's 50%, probably not even. And then if he does get traded, what are the odds that it's to us? There's also the Tariq Woolen smoke going on. Sounds like there might be something there. I don't know. What I would say is, as far as I don't think it's something the Packers would do, unless what we're being told is incorrect. It sounds like they're trying to do it. So it's not even a matter of whether they're willing. They certainly would. I mean, everybody would love to have them. It's just a question of who has the greatest desire to get the deal done. And then can they actually come to an agreement with the Eagles on that deal? Same goes for Tariq Woolen on the other side. You know, can they actually? Woolen, by the way, also makes a lot of sense if you're looking at it from a standpoint of, again, kind of switching to a different prototype of corner based on Gannon. This is a 6'3", incredibly long arm guy running like a 4.25. He obviously blew up when he got to the NFL, and then things started to deteriorate for him. But in terms of just taking a swing at a guy that's shown a ton of talent, that fits that Gannon prototype of the big long arm disruptive type of a guy, makes just an absolute ton of sense. But again, whether or not the Packers will be able to pull the trigger on a deal that makes sense to them, as opposed to saying, screw it, we'll roll with what we got, and then we'll see what the draft gives us. We'll just have to kind of see how that plays out. So, yeah, and then, tight end, I'm with you. Again, whether that's free agency, the draft, or not, we have Musgrave for now. We can, I think the point right now, not to say they won't take some big swings and really try to do some damage, but the point right now is to just lay a nice little baseline. Do we have what we need to be able to run a team? And then, there's minor, again, we could have run it back with Nate Hobbs, but there's no reason to. It's so much money, and we can find somebody better for cheaper. So let's do that. But we're still just laying down the baseline, like we've got our guys that we're going to win with, and then we got these giant holes that we got to just putty up a little bit. And we're kind of going to putty those. And Musgrave, I think, is putty. No offense to Musgrave, but I think he's putty enough for a tight end too. However, do I think we still would be wise or massively benefited from going out and getting a stud and putting him next to Tucker? Heck yes. Especially with Josh Jacobs and the wide receivers that we have, adding 2 dynamic tight ends. Come on, bro. It's not even fair.
Hey, that guy is Garrett from Southern Illinois.
Yo.
I'm going to continue doing this, so here it goes. My nomination this week for the Jag-Off is...
You guys still have to tell me what we're doing with this. I don't know. I get nominations, and I don't know what to do with them. Should I be writing this down? I don't know. But, keep them coming. I just... Any guidance on this? If you can give me some... Tell me what this rundown is supposed to look like, will you?
Adam Shyster, or as we know him, Schefter, for being a moron in labeling a 4th-round pick as a late-round pick.
Yep.
And thank you.
And labeling a center a tackle and labeling an edge rusher a defensive tackle. The guy's an idiot.
Thank you, Chris from Alabama, for definitely saying what all of us were saying, that a 4th-round pick is a mid. When he said late, I was thinking a 6th or 7th also.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah. Adam Shyster is a moron, but we all should just start referring to him as Jag-Off of the week. So there's my nomination. I'm out.
Again, I don't know what to do with that, but I'm on board with the idea that colloquially or whatever on this program, Adam Schefter's name is just Jag-Off. So if I just mention via Jag-Off, the Packers are doing blah, 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 you'll know.
Hey, Ryan, Drew from Green Bay, and
Yo.
I am pretty excited about signing St. Juice. I always thought, even coming into the NFL, I liked him coming out of Minnesota. I get he wasn't that great with Washington, but yeah, you did see with the Chargers, and I think a lot. One thing this is about is shoring up our outside cornerback as well, because I think it's generally considered that we needed a guy on the outside and that we're more set at the nickel position or the slot position. So, yeah, I just think that's going to be really interesting, and I think we'll have some competition. And then the only thing after signing him that I really see is we just need a defensive tackle now, and if we can get Jalen Carter or whatever, or somebody else, then I'll feel pretty confident going into the draft. And a sneaky position that we still need, though, some depth at is tight end. We did lose Fitzpatrick, who was actually pretty good, and because he had that torn Achilles, and so maybe we re-sign him, but I don't think he's going to be healthy anyway. So if we re-sign him, it's going to be down the line. And Musgrave's going into his final year. And then you have Tucker Kraft is going to be injured at the start of the season probably. So We really could add another tight end as well. I don't know if that'll be free agency or the draft, but I think people are kind of overlooking that as a draft need. But yeah, I'm super excited. Like, I think this is the kind of move that we're freeing up space with getting rid of Hobbs and then adding him is like, this just seems like a really good move, like a big cornerback too, that'll complement Valentine. So I'm really excited about this. This is the move we needed. And just get Jalen Carter. I'll be back on the Super Bowl train, baby. All right, have a good one. Bye.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit. Again, I think it's a low end kind of deal. It doesn't have to be. I mean, he could end up being, the next Rasul Douglas, where it ends up being a much bigger deal than what the contract would indicate. But no, I think it is a solid. This guy over here costs a ton of money and didn't do well and is a bad scheme fit. Let's cut bait there and find someone that's a better scheme fit. That isn't going to cost us $1 billion because we're not trying to get locked into this deal. If it works, great. And we got him for a couple of years. Maybe he can play till he's 31. I don't know. But if not, we're going to continue on our plan of doing what we can with what we got and finding some good fits and doing as best a job as we can getting into the draft and trying to find some diamonds in the rough. There are some pretty good corners, in the kind of in that second to third round range. We'll see. It'll be once the dust settles. Now that I've kind of settled in on what I think Jonathan Gannon is wanting on the outside, which is a Tariq Woolen, St. Juice kind of guy. It's not going to be hard to kind of look around and find some of those guys. I don't want to do that right this second, but and I know it doesn't have to be that, but it'll kind of help you hone in a little bit on like, okay, I at least in that pile of like, here's 5 that make a lot of sense, probably can narrow that down. You know what? I want to just peek right now. I can promise you it ain't D'Angelo Pons. I know that much. There's a lot of guys, right in this range. If you're just looking at length, Igbinosun at 77. You got Julian Neal at 85. You've got Malik Muhammad at 92. You've got Takario Davis, Devin Moore, and Dalen Everett, cornerbacks at 102, 106, and 112. So right in that like third, fourth round range, there's a lot of guys. Second round, Igbinosun is an option. Any of these guys, the Julian Neal, whatever, they're technically in that third round range based strictly on this. Chris Johnson, D'Angelo Pons, Keith Abney, Keontae Scott, those guys in that second round range, they're smaller corners. So I don't know that they're going to be the best fits. But you get sort of those lengthy physical type of guys when you're looking third, fourth round. And there's some really good options there. I'm having fun with this. I'm gonna dig a little deeper and find some perfect corners here, but I probably shouldn't do that right this second. So we will continue. I already spent way too much. I'm going through each one of these guys. I'm getting their height, weight, their scouting reports, all that kind of crap. We'll do that on Packernet here. But yeah, I don't even remember what your question was, but thank you or comment for getting me started. TJ from Alabama.
Hey Ryan, TJ from Alabama.
Yo.
Early on in free agency, obviously didn't really expect the Packers to do a whole lot just for whatever, but I guess they've been even a little bit more active, not necessarily in free agency, but just this time a little bit more active with, bringing back some low price folks, Neiman and Welsh and so on and so forth, and Ryan, Ryan not as low cost, but still bringing back Ryan. The center market sucks. The draft, as you were saying, may have some talent there from the center standpoint, but from a free agent and all the people retiring, hell.
Unless you want to drop $30 million on a center. Freaking crazy.
The whole NFC North lost their centers. So there was not a deep pool of centers. And obviously the Linderbaum pool, Raiders basically almost guaranteeing $81 million total. That was steep. So I guess I kind of understand bringing back Ryan, not completely against it, but it kind of falls into just the overall feeling of it's okay. Bringing back LaFleur, okay. Bringing back Ryan, okay.
Yep.
Restructuring Banks, a little dicey there, but, he played better towards the end, so maybe okay. Releasing Hobbs, okay. Signing Benjamin St. Juste, that could be a little something, but okay. So you get the flavor. It's like everything's okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But, I've been in a Goody and Goody we trust kind of mode for a number of years, being like, hey, I'm not sure I like it or dislike it, but, I trust Goody. That's waning a little bit.
Right.
I'm not on the anti-Goody train. I am absolutely not, but it is a little bit of put up or shut up time. Goody's got to come through and deliver, not just a given anymore. I love getting a fourth for Gary and yada yada, so we'll see how it all shakes out. The Jalen Carter thing, that strikes me as a kind of a little BS, but hey, if it happens, I'm on board. My guess, if it happens, Jaden Reed has to be involved, because otherwise I don't think we have the ammo, but we'll see. And then the last thing, you brought it up, yada yada, I apologize if it's a repeat, but I miss Kwesi already. Minnesota, why did you get rid of Kwesi? I loved it when you extended him last year, but damn it, how do you get like minus $44 million in salary cap when you're not paying your quarterback? The whole thing is to not pay your quarterback and have a bunch of money, and you are so far in the hole. Bring back Kwesi. Go Pack, go.
Yeah. No, that's a painful reality we all live in. It's sad. I don't know if anybody else is in the market. The Bears, maybe they're looking for somebody to come in and help out with things. If things with Poles don't work out, I have a suggestion. He was in Minnesota. He was great. Whatever we can do to get him back would be nice. That being said, I'm not filled with confidence about a lot of things that they've done. So there's a decent chance, at least. It's unlikely they find a GM that's as bad. It's entirely possible, at least, that they find somebody that is bad, is not good at what they're doing. And really, that's all we need. Because as long as you don't have a quarterback, it's fine. It doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Just don't find a quarterback, and it won't matter. Now you got me over here on YouTube watching this guy's highlights as our next cornerback. I guess the question, honestly, I shouldn't be doing this right now, but my mind is wandering here. The question, honestly, is how much does Gutekunst want to perfectly match this scheme? Because if you keep playing that game, you're just going to keep having mismatched defensive players. Well, I got this guy for this scheme, and this guy for this scheme, and this guy for this scheme, and then we're going to fire this guy, or he's going to get a new job, and I'm going to need to do defensive coordinator, and we're going to have... On some level, there has to be, we get good corners because we get good corners that we like the way that they play. In other words, we're looking more for a Gutekunst guy than a Gannon guy, with maybe some overlap, or I don't know. It would be an interesting. Go ahead.
Someone is at the front door.
It would be an interesting question for Brian Gutekunst on how to balance that, because you want to get Gannon a Gannon guy. But you can't get a guy that you don't think, if Gannon is gone next year, he gets a head coaching job or something, all of a sudden, well, this guy's no good anymore. Anyways, did we take a break? Let's take our final break. We'll be right back.
Well, Tuesday morning, listening to some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, some Monday morning podcast talking about the trade stuff. I got to tell you, I know there's some people that just hate. There's always going to be people that hate who's ever in charge, no matter how good they do, right? But if anything else, Goody should get a high five from everybody for soaking a fourth-round pick out of Dallas for some dude that we're going to cut anyway.
Elder abuse.
As evidenced by the fact that he already sent his farewell on frickin' whatever social media. It's like... What is he thinking? Like, does he just surround himself? Jerry Jones was talking about. Does he just surround himself with yes men? Like, where's the one dude?
Well, and the other thing too is you think, well, you want to be able to get him. You don't want to compete for him First of all, I don't know that he has a massive market. Second of all, look how big his contract is. You understand if we cut him, he doesn't have a contract anymore, which means you can pay him whatever he's actually worth. And so think about a universe in which most people want to pay him maybe $15 million. If you're already saying you're willing to pay him like $25 million plus a 4th round pick, I think you're going to win that battle. And you don't have to give up any compensation. And you know what? He's probably not going to cost that much. I bet almost anything. If you offer him $17 million in free agency, you win.
Someone is at the front door.
Someone is not at the front door. You shut your mouth, lady. Actually, Alexa, show the front door cam, please. Thank you very much. Sorry for being rude. It is my Amazon package. Give me that. I don't usually order things, but when I do, it's for grilling. But yeah, again, even in a world in which, oh no, what if we have to compete for him? I don't want to compete for him. Bro, first of all, you could have got him for significantly less than a 4th. I mean, what are the Packers going to do? If they have one offer on the table and it's a 2027 conditional 7th round pick, what are we going to do? Maybe we'll say F you and cut him because it's not worth it, but probably not. I'll take a 7th. You know, it could be a Rasheed Walker. It could be a Carrington Valentine. I'm not going to pass that up. I'll take it. Did you actually believe? Let me ask you one very specific question. We'll get back to Nico. Did you believe Brian Gutekunst when he looked you dead in your face and lied to you and said, we have an offer for a 5th round pick on the table and we're going to take it if you don't give us a 4th? Or when he told you there's a 4th on the table and you have to match that? Because I'm so sorry, Jerry. He lied to you, bro. He freaking lied to you. He worked you. He freaking, I'm telling you, man, there's a lawsuit coming because what Brian Gutekunst did to Jerry is not, it's honestly not right. I mean, morally, it's wrong. Clearly, the guy's not right in the head, and Gutekunst is just he's stealing all his money. I mean, he's like one of those freaking Nigerian scammer people, is basically Brian Gutekunst. He gets on the phone, he calls an old man, he asks for freaking iTunes gift cards from him. Hey, give me iTunes gift cards and a 4th round pick and you can have Rashaan Gary. They should look into that, honestly. Because, okay, birds. And just look at the communications and see if there were any iTunes gift cards or Google Play cards or any kind of gift cards or wire transfers that took place in addition. You know, if we told them, hey, we're going to have to ask you to take on like $10 million from his cap, but we need it in the form of a Western Union wire transfer. So if you could wire $10 million to this account, then we can give you what you need. I'm just saying, I mean, I'm a Goot guy, but there's a line that you don't cross, and I would say that is the line.
It's going to be like, hey, Jer, he just posted a farewell to Green Bay message on his social media. They're going to cut him. So let's just hang out and throw $20 million at him, like probably less than what we're going to pay now, dummy. So Goody should get some high marks for that. And I think it even makes the Parsons deal look better.
Alexa.
You know, I know that we're letting a lot of people go, right? You know, Walker and Dobbs and, you know, other people that I'm not going to remember now because my brain's thinking. But I would trade 2 first-round picks in a year again if we're going to get like 4. Willie just went down the list. We're going to get like 4 draft picks out of all the people that are leaving. I'll take that. That's amazing.
It's going to be nice next year.
I mean, all 3rd and 4th rounders? That's freaking amazing. I mean, plus the one we got from, you know, Rashaan Gary.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to pan out. Again, a lot of people are saying that the Malik thing is going to be a 4th. I mean, who else is getting these massive contracts out there? But even if that's a 4th, Romeo's a 4th. I think Quay is a 4th. Rasheed is probably going to be. I mean, there might legitimately be 4 4th-round picks there, or maybe a 3rd, 2 4ths, and a 5th, or something. But I mean, it's going to be something like that, which is dope. A 2nd, 2 3rds, 3 4ths, and 2 5ths. I can live with that. Or better yet, the Packers' money around the 4th round. Could you imagine if we had 5 4th-round picks? I know the temptation to trade up would be there. Bro, trade out of the 3rd and let's get 6 4th-round picks. And we will be set for the next 10 years. That's how you build a dynasty, Gutekunst. Maybe that's what he figured out. He said, you know what, I'm done trying to figure out why I can't draft in the 3rd round aside from Tucker. I'm done trying to figure out why we're so freaking good in the 4th round. We're gonna let all these guys walk. Guys that we know will net about a 4th-round pick. We're going to let them all walk. This has been in the works for like 4 years now. They've been working on this. This is the moment when they walk, and we get 4th-round compensatory picks, and we're going to trade all our picks, maybe even the 2nd. I don't know, but we're pretty good in the 2nd. So we'll draft in the 2nd, trade out of the 3rd, end up with 6 4th-round picks, maybe even use some of the 2028 capital to get up from 5 to 4, so we have 7 4th-round picks, and just feast. 5 of those 7 are going to be blue chippers. The other 2, 100% are going to play, because I can't remember the last time ever we drafted a 4th-round pick that didn't at least play poorly. This guy's going to start. We're just not going to be in love with him. Packers officially released Elton with a failed physical designation. Interesting. What the heck does that mean? Certainly explains why there was no trade partner. Another sad story, by the way, with all the frickin' injuries that we keep getting to our good players that turn them into not good players. Sorry, let's get back. I keep interrupting Nico here.
Yeah. Good luck to him. I was indifferent when we got him. I think he played kind of good at times, and then just meh. And you know they say you overpay for good, not for you overpay for great, not for good. You don't overpay for meh. That's dang sure. So I'm kind of also concerned about the whole deal with the center. But if Linderbaum got $30 million, then what we did with Ryan's maybe not so horrible. So I don't know.
Right.
I'm sure a lot's going to happen. Literally free agency just started. Let me get in. But I don't know, man. I remember when off-season used to be boring as a Packer fan. Now day 2, we're freaking out. So, hey, go back up.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point with the Sean Ryan thing. If you're telling me $30 million is the top right now, then you realize kind of what the market is for that. If you want that stability, you're going to pay for it. And so we did. And that's just kind of the way that it goes. There really wasn't. Well, I shouldn't say there wasn't, but they're in a tough spot, and I get it. I probably would have made different choices throughout, but it is what it is, and I get it. And so what I've been hoping for is that over time, the vision will start to reveal itself. We'll start to understand what the plan is a little bit, and it's coming into focus a little. I'm getting there. We got 2 Chris from Alabama's here. I haven't done the regular podcast yet, and with all the other stuff we've been doing, I'm getting kind of burned out. So I think I'm just going to call it right there. Get started on the other potty casty thing, and I will talk to y'all later. Stay tuned for any more breaking news. Bye.